Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will learn something about templates. So as I earlier mentioned, Django is actually a web framework, but the thing is that Django is actually a backend framework. That is, Django is suitable to build up the backend of your website, that is the database and everything like that. But what you want to do is that you actually also want a good front end for your website. So by front end I mean the user interface of our website. So right now, as you could see, this is your user interface and it actually looks quite boring and quite dull. So what you need to do is that you need to have a front end developer who is going to design the entire page for you. And then what you need to do is that you basically need to combine the front end with the back end, which is an extremely complex and time consuming process. So what Django does is that Django offers us a very good functionality which is called as templates. So by using templates, what we could do is that we could have a front-end engineer and we could basically tell him to develop the front end for us, and we could keep that web page into our template and basically connect the back end with the front end using Django. So in this lecture we are going to learn exactly the same thing, that is how we could separate the back end with the front end. So as I earlier mentioned, Django is meant for mainly back-end development. So as you could see right now, we have stuffed in a lot of HTML over here, but the thing is, this was the simple HTML code, hence it was actually reasonable to put that code over here. But in reality, the HTML code of any website or the front-end code for any website is going to be absolutely larger, and hence what we need to make sure is that we keep the HTML code and the Django code separate. So the next thing which we are going to do is that we are going to learn about templates, which allows us to build the front end and back end independently and then later on connect them together to basically form our entire website. So the first thing which you will need to do is that you need to delete all the HTML which we have here. So for now, make sure that you delete everything from here. So delete this for loop, delete this HTML and everything like that. Also delete this HTML from here, and I guess it's reasonable to keep this line and delete HTML because we will need this. And now what we are going to do is that we are going to create, or we are going to write in brand new HTML code in a template. So right now what we want to do is that we need to create a template in the books directory. So you simply need to go to the books directory, right click on it, go to new and create a new directory and call that directory as templates. So you type templates over here, hit OK, and it is actually going to create the templates directory for you. Now, once you have this template directory, what you need to do is that you need to create one more directory entire code here, because we will be writing the code from scratch in this HTML file. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to have the HTML file here, and we are going to refer to this file from the views.py file right here. So now let's go ahead and learn how to do that. So basically we are doing that with the help of templates. So you actually need to import a few things before you use templates. So you need to type in from Django.template, you need to import a loader. So you type from Django.template import loader, and that is going to import the loader, which is actually going to load up our template. And now let's write in the code to load up our template. So here you need to type in template equals loader dot get template, and to this get template you actually need to pass in URL of this HTML file. So as we actually want to load this HTML file, The URL of that is basically books/index.html. So once you pass this thing to the URL, the template loader actually understands that we exactly need to load this template right here, which is present at this path. So once you load this thing up, what you need to do is that you need to go ahead and create a context so that you could actually pass in the data. So right now the data of the database is present in all books, so you need to pass these all books as a context. So you create a context here by typing context equal simply switch to index.html. And in here, as we actually want to display all the books available in our database, we go ahead and create an unordered list. So you type in UL. So this is basically the unordered list which we frequently use in HTML. And after this, you type in this syntax to basically include your code. So here we type in a simple for loop. So you type in for book in all underscore book or all underscore books. So you actually want to loop through a certain line of code and you actually want to end this loop over here. So you could type in this syntax again and you could type in end for, which is basically going to end the loop. And in between here, you need to type in the list element. So you type in li. So this is basically the HTML tag. And in between this, you actually need to type in a link. So you type a href equals, and here, as you want to pass in an address, that address is going to be something like slash book slash the book ID. So to get the book ID, in these type of brackets, you type in book.id, which is going to give you the ID of that particular book. So this is going to be your link here. Now once you have the link, you also need to go ahead and you need to display some text. So what you do here is that right after this, give a slash because this is going to be the URL. Then simply close this tag, and after this, as you want to display some information related to book, so let's say you want to display the book name, so you could again go here, create such brackets, and in here you simply need to type in book.name, and that is going to return the name of the book which you have. So once this thing is done, you are good to go. So you could simply save the code. So go to file, click save all. Then you could basically jump back to your server, and when you refresh this thing, I guess we got an error somewhere. So it is actually showing us an error for the end for statement, and let me check why that thing is giving us an error. So let me go back here. Okay, so I guess we got that error because this UL tag is inappropriate. So let me just go ahead and fix that quickly. So this thing should be over here, and hopefully this should solve our error. Okay, so I figured out my mistake, and the mistake which I made was that I actually left a space over here. So you should not actually leave space over here. Django data or the backend data to the front end and finally display the entire web page. So that's it for this lecture, and also there are a lot of things which we need to discuss about these templates. So there are also some set of standards which we need to follow while we create templates. So we are going to learn that in the upcoming lectures. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.